What? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Yes.
What नहीं देखा तो कोई ना?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
All of you can see this? All of
Yes,
yes
sir.
sir?
Now it's visible.
Yes, sir.
What?
Now it's visible. Previously it was
Okay.
not.
Okay. Okay. So today's topic is three-phase inverter. Till now we have studied the single-phase inverter. Okay. So as you know that we classify the inverter in two categories based on the supply. First is single-phase inverter and another is three-phase inverter. Here. So we already see the single-phase inverter. Two category. One is voltage source inverter. In short, we call it as VSI, and another is current source inverter. This topic is remaining. We cover it at the completion of this topic. So we have already completed the voltage source inverter, single phase voltage source inverter for different load, R load, RL load, and RLC load. Okay. Now in this lecture, we will understand the operation of three-phase inverter. Clear? So what is the three-phase inverter and what is the practical application of three-phase inverter? Yes, anyone can give me the answer? Where we require the three-phase inverter? What is the application? Yes, anyone? 15 number. What is the application of three-phase inverter? Anyone can give me the answer? Yes. Where we require the inverter? What is the function of inverter? DC? Convert the DC to AC. Here, single phase inverter convert the DC to single phase AC. Three phase inverter convert DC to three phase AC. Clear? Very simple. So, in which application we require to convert DC to three phase AC? Yes, anyone can give the answer?
Where we use a three-phase load.
Sorry.
Where we use a three-phase load like a three-phase motor, kind of.
Yeah, where we got the more power, three phase power. But what is the actual application in industry or any other application where three phase inverter is mostly used? Any idea about that? Yes,
High
anyone?
volt DC power transmission.
Okay. Any other? The biggest application of three phase inverter, that is in solar park or solar system, yes or no? Because we generate the DC power through the solar, yes or no? All of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So to
Yes,
convert
sir.
this DC power into three-phase power, because we require the injection of this three-phase power to the grid. As you know that our grid is operating on three-phase supply, three-phase system. So to convert your DC supply, to convert the DC power which is generated by the solar and convert it to the three-phase to connect to the grid, we require the converter which is called as a three-phase inverter. Here. Or in the industry where we require the speed control of the large induction motor. Yeah. So at that time we also use a three-phase inverter. So suppose we have a DC supply, suppose we have a battery, or by using a rectifier we convert the AC to DC, but we require the different frequency of AC supply. Suppose we have three-phase supply but 50 Hz frequency, and we require a three-phase supply of variable frequency. So that we can achieve by using the three-phase inverter. First convert the AC to DC and then convert DC to AC at a different frequency as well as magnitude. So in the industry for the variable frequency drive, I think all of you heard the name VFD, variable frequency drive. Okay. So in that case we can use this inverter to get the variable frequency three-phase AC supply. Okay. So that is all about the application of inverter. Now let's understand the basic operation of three-phase inverter and its different classification. So again, same like a single phase inverter, three phase inverter also has two type of classification. One is 180 degree mode of conduction, and another is 120 degree mode of conduction. And all these are the voltage source inverter. 180 degree mode VSI and 120 degree mode VSI. Let's understand what is the meaning of 180 degree and 120 degree. In 180 degree mode of three phase inverter, each thyristor, I call here name T, each thyristor T conduct for 180 degree in one cycle. That's why it is called as a 180 degree mode of conduction. Each thyristor conduct for 180 degree duration in one cycle. As you know, one cycle is 360 degree. So in 360 degree, each and every thyristor which we use in three phase inverter that conducts for 180 degree duration. That's why it is called as a 180 degree mode of inverter. Same way here in 120 degree mode of voltage source inverter, each thyristor T conducts for 120 degree duration. So that's why it is called as a 120 degree mode of VSI. After learning the theory of both this inverter, we compare both this inverter and find out that which method is better. Yeah. So first we understand the 180 degree mode of VSI. Yeah. So this is the classification. So let's draw the circuit diagram of three phase inverter. Circuit diagram of three phase inverter. So as we know that inverter has supplies what? DC. So that is my DC supply. At the input side, I use the capacitor to make this supply voltage constant. Suppose I get this DC supply from the rectifier. So as you know that rectifier will provide the constant DC. Yeah. So to make this DC constant at the input of the inverter, I put the capacitor. Yeah. So this capacitor work as a filter for this DC supply. So whatever the harmonics or ripple contained in your DC, that is removed by this capacitor. So that provides a constant DC to the inverter. Now let's draw this. So here it is.
ઉપરનું છે કટ થઈ જાય છે.
Sorry.
આ જે ઉપરનો પાર્ટ છે ને કટ થઈ જાય છે બોર્ડનો.
Okay. So I adjust this camera, sir. Now you can see this. હવે દેખાય છે બધા?
યસ.
આખું બોર્ડ દેખાય છે બધાને? કોઈ પોર્શન કટ થાય છે ત્યાં સુધી દેખાય છે બધાને?
બટ આખી સર્કિટ આખી દેખાય.
ઓકે. આ બાજુ બોર્ડ પર બધું દેખાય છે ત્યાં સુધી?
ના સર ન્યા સુધી નથી દેખાતું. હા બસ એટલો પાર્ટ દેખાય. યા.
ઓકે, અહીંયા સુધી દેખાય છે. ઓકે. અહીંયા સુધી ડ્રો કરીશ. ઓકે, નો પ્રોબ્લેમ. તો હું લાઈન ડ્રો કરી દઈશ, બરાબર? અહીંયા સુધી દેખાય છે સર?
યસ સર.
Okay, now let's see the circuit diagram. So you can see that here we take the 6 thyristor and take the tapping of the load here. Each leg provides each phase. Here generator 3 phase. So all these 3 legs of this converter generator 3 phase. Now I think all of you can see this figure. See that here we are taking from the first leg. This is a phase A. Give the name A, capital A. Second leg, then provide the phase B. So I give the name this point B, capital B, and give the name of this third leg, which provide the phase C. All of you can see this? Bata dekha je figure? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now give the name to this thyristor. So first this thyristor will give the name T1. First give the name to this thyristor T1. And this thyristor name T2, this T3, T4, this thyristor T5, and this one is T6. So I give the name like this way. So there is a logic. The sequence in which I give the name to this thyristor, in the same sequence, all these thyristors are turned on. Clear? So T1 means this thyristor turn on first. This thyristor T2 it means that turn on after the T1. Then T3, T4, T5, T6. It means the sequence in which I write the name of the thyristor. In that same sequence, all these thyristors are turned on one by one. Clear? And here, this is the operation of 180-degree mode of VSI. Clear? So each and every thyristor that is conducting for 180-degree duration. And this inverter that is also called as the 6-step inverter. 6-step inverter. Why it is called as a 6-step inverter? So here in this 180-degree or 120-degree mode of inverter, at every 60-degree interval, one thyristor is on and previous thyristor is off. So the definition of step is that turning on of the new thyristor and turning off of the previous thyristor. So in 360-degree cycle or one cycle of your output voltage, there are 60-degree steps you get where one new thyristor is on. So that's why it is called as a 6-step inverter. At every 60-degree interval, one new thyristor is on. Clear? So one cycle is 360-degree. So 6 multiply 60-degree. 60-degree is a step of where one thyristor is on. Clear? So there are 360-degree, 6 into 60. So 6 steps in which you get the output voltage across the load. Here for simplicity, we take the resistive load and assume that it is star connected. Yeah, you can see that this is the star connection. You can see this is the star connection. Yeah. So star connected resistive load and balanced load. We assume that, and here this is the DC supply and the input side this is the capacitor. Again explain the function of capacitor is to provide the constant DC voltage to this inverter. And second function of this capacitor is when this inverter convert DC to AC, so some of the harmonics are produced in the load because of the switching of this thyristor. So some of the harmonics are injected from load to source side. So if you put the capacitor, then you can able to remove the harmonics which are get from this load to source. So here this capacitor work as a filter. Okay. So always you connect the capacitor at the input side of the inverter to remove the harmonics or as well as ripple contained in your DC. Okay. So let's understand the operation of this three-phase inverter. How these switches are on for 180-degree duration. Each switches are on for 180-degree duration. So let's draw the first gate pulse which we provided to each and every thyristor in this 180-degree mode of inverter. This is a 180-degree mode of voltage source inverter. All of you can see this here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's do this waveform here. So first I do the waveform for IG1 and IG4. It means gate pulse for thyristor T1 and T4. So as you know that both these thyristors are connected in the same link. So both must be turned on in complementary fashion. It means when the T1 is turned on, at that time T4 must be in off condition. Otherwise, what will happen? If both are turned on for the same time, your supply will be short circuited. Like this. Yes. Same way for the second leg also, T3 and T6 must be turned on in complementary fashion. When T3 is on, T6 is off. When T6 is on, T3 must be in off condition. Yeah. Same way for the third leg, thyristor T5 and T2. When T5 is on, T2 must be on condition. Clear? Complementary. So here first we draw the gate pulse for T1 and T4. First leg. So first leg is phase A. Yeah. So T1, as per the name, start first. So we provide the gate pulse from omega t is equal to 0 degree. So see, suppose this is omega t is equal to 0 degree. Clear? So here I start the waveform.
सर
Yes.
आपने जो लाइन ड्रॉ करी है ना उसके नीचे ड्रॉ कीजिए, ऊपर का नहीं दिख रहा है वेव फॉर्म्स में।
यहाँ पे नहीं दिख रहा है ऊपर का।
हाँ, जो जो आपने नीचे एक्सिस ड्रॉ करी है ना उसके नीचे कर लीजिए आप।
Okay. So I think I move this camera to slightly upward. Now you can see this full board.
ये सर ऊपर का तो पूरा दिख रहा है, नीचे से थोड़ा बोर्ड कट हुआ है।
Okay, sorry. Now you can see this. So I start with the waveform from here. Okay. Omega t. So let's do the waveform for Ig1 and Ig4. Clear? Now we see, all of you can see this. बता देखा जब yes देखा सर.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's do the gate pulse for T1 and T4. So as we know that this is a 180 degree mode. Each and every thyristor conducts for 180 degree duration. Here. So T1 is conducting from the starting omega t is equal to 0. So it is remain conducting up to omega t is equal to 180 degree. Clear? So this is the gate pulse we continuously provide to thyristor T1. Exactly complementary gate pulse give to the thyristor T4. It means when thyristor T1 is off here at 180 degree, turn on the thyristor T4. So here T4 is on. So this is the duration where the thyristor T4 is on, and this is the duration where T1 is on. Now clear all of this one? Gate pulse of T1 and T4.
Yes, sir.
Now same way for the second leg, which provide the phase B. Here. So T3 is turned on. How much degree? So here as you know that in the three-phase inverter, each and every phase is 120 degree apart from each other. Then you can generate the three phase. If you not provide the phase shifting, then what will happen? So suppose this first leg generate the single phase like this way suppose. If you not providing that phase shifting to the phase B and phase C, so what will happen? All the three phases are overlapped to each other. So ultimately, finally, at the load side, you generate the single phase only. Clear? So that's why you must provide the phase shift to the phase B and phase C. So as we know that phase B is 120 degree apart from phase A. So we provide the gate pulse to thyristor T3 120 degree after the conduction of T1. So as we know that T1 is start from omega t is equal to 0. So provide the gate pulse to thyristor T3 120 degree after omega t is equal to 0 degree. It means from 120 degree you provide the gate pulse to thyristor T3. Okay. So suppose that this is my angle 60 degree. This is the angle of 120. This is the angle of 180 plus 60, 240. This angle is 300 and this angle is 360. Clear? So 120 degree omega t is equal to 120 degree. I provide the gate pulse to thyristor T3. Clear? And as you know, each and every thyristor is conduct for 180. So that is remaining conducting from 120 degree plus 180. How much? Up to 300? Yes or no? All of you? 120 degree starts. Each thyristor conducts for 180 degree. So 120 degree plus 180 conduction. So it means up to 300 degree it's remain conducting. All of you understand this or not? All of you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Sir, can you explain it again?
okay. This waveform is understood T1 and T4. I hope
Yes, sir.
Now, for the second phase, means B phase, that must be 120 degree apart from phase A. Clear? So we generate the gate pulse for T3 and T6 in such a way that the output voltage generated in the phase B, that is 120 degree apart from this phase A. Clear? So for that we provide the gate pulse to thyristor T3 120 degree after the conduction of T1. Then and then you can generate the voltage at phase B 120 degree apart from phase A. Okay. So that's why here I provide the gate pulse to thyristor T3 at 120 degree after the conduction of T1. T1 start from omega t is equal to 0. So now T3 will start from omega t is equal to 120 degree. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now this is the 180 degree mode of inverter. It means each thyristor conduct for 180 degree duration in one cycle. So this T3 start from 120 degree. So 120 plus 180. So that is remaining conducting up to 300 degree. Clear? So this is the conduction duration of thyristor T3. Now clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
this next thyristor T6 of the same way, their gate pass is complementary to T3 because again what will happen, both are around at the same time, that's short circuit your supply. Clear? So when T3 is in off condition, at that time you apply the gate pulse to thyristor T6. So you can see that before omega t is equal to 120, your thyristor T3 off condition. Clear? So it means that apply the gate pulse from omega t is equal to 0 in this cycle to omega t is equal to 120 degree to thyristor T6. Clear? But now question come in mind that this is the only 120 degree. And as you know that each thyristor is conducting for 180 degree in one cycle. One cycle is 360 degree. Clear? But you can see that at 300 degree your T3 will off. Clear? Here it is a 360 degree. So next 60 degree in this cycle again your thyristor T6 will on. Clear? So you can see that here T6 starts from here. So this is a 120 degree duration and this is a 60 degree duration. So as you see that in one cycle this T6 is conducting for 180 degree duration. Here. Actually here your T6 will start in the previous cycle of this. Here this is a continuous process. So here we take the time t is equal to 0. But suppose that the steady state condition the thyristor T6 is turned on in the previous cycle. Previous cycle means suppose you can see that here. Suppose I draw the cycle after this 360 degree. Next cycle. Here. So in the next cycle, only 120 degree will conduct. Because in the previous cycle, from 300 to 360, this 60 degree duration already your T6 will conduct here. Here. So after that, in the next cycle, after 360 degree, for extra 120 degree, again your thyristor T6 will conduct. So that continuously conduct for 180 degree duration. Okay. So this is the only one half part, 120 degree part of conduction of T6. Its previous cycle, the rest of the 60 degree is already conducted. Clear? But here we start the waveform from t is equal to 0. So that you can see that here 120 degree here and 60 degree here. All of you understand this? Yes sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now same way for the thyristor T5 and T6. T5 and T2. T5 must be turned on 120 degree after the conduction of T3 because again the phase C must be 120 degree has phase displacement with respect to phase number T. Or you can say that T5 has 240 degree phase displacement with respect to T1. Yeah. As you know the vector diagram of three phase quantity. So suppose this is the phase A, this phase B and phase C. So as you know that A and B phase there is a 120 degree phase displacement. B and C phase there is a 120 degree phase displacement. Yeah. A and C phase has also 120 degree phase displacement. But if you measure from this anti-clockwise side, so this is a 240 degree phase displacement. Okay. So here turn on the T5 120 degree after the conduction of T3, or you can say that 240 degree after the conduction of T1. So let's do the gate first for thyristor thyristor T5 and T2. First, this one is IG3 and IG6. Now this one is IG5 and IG2. So you can see that 120 degree angle your T3 will start here. So after 120 degree your T5 will start. It means 120 plus 120. So at angle omega T is equal to 240 degree here. Your thyristor T5 will start conducting. So this is omega T is equal to 240. So 240 plus 180. How much? 240 plus 180. Because each thyristor is conducted for 180 degree duration. This is 360 degree, this is 400 degree. How much? Yes? Anyone? 240 plus 180. Kila sir?
It's 420.
Sorry? 240 degree. It will start 240 degree start the conduction of T5. So where it is end after 180 degree. Simple 180 plus 240. 420. Yes or no? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So suppose that this angle is 420 here. Because this is here 360. After that 960 degree. 420 is here. This is your 420 degree. So T5 starts from omega T is equal to 240 degree and ends here at 420 degrees. So this is the conduction duration of thyristor T5. So what is the conduction time of T2? Exactly complementary of T5. So where T5 is off condition at that time T2 will start conducting. Here. But you can see that from 0 to 220, 0 to 240, here we not provide the gate pulse. So here 240 angle T5 start, it means in the previous angle your T2 will conduct it. Clear? How much duration? 180 degree duration. So from 240 to 180 degree back side, it means omega T is equal to 60 degree. Up to this interval, your T2 will remain conducted. And at the starting of the 60 degree, from omega T is equal to 0 to this 60 degree, your T5 is conducted. All of you understand this? Yes or no? Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there any doubt? Because it is very important. If you understand this, then you can understand the calculation of output voltage as well as the waveform. All of you understand this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's start the waveform for each and every step. You can see that at each and every 60-degree interval, one new thyristor is on. Let's see this. How? Now you can see that in first 60-degree interval, this is a 60-degree interval, 0 to 60-degree interval, which thyristor is turned on at the same time from all these 3 lanes, 1, 2 and 3 lanes. See that T1 is conducting from 0 to 180. So it means
2625.
first 0 to 60 degree T1 is on. In the second lane, 0 to 60 degree T6 is on. In the third lane, T5 is on. Clear? So 3 thyristor is turned on at the same time. In this first interval, we call as the first interval where thyristor 6, 5 and 1 is conducted. 6 from the 1 from the first leg, 6 from the second leg, and 5 from the third leg. So from the each leg, any one thyristor is on at a time. So that is the step 1. 3 thyristors, 6, 5, and 1 is on. Now next step, it means 60 to 120 degree. So this is the next step, 60 to 120 degree. Which thyristor is conducting? Give me the answer.
T1, T6 and T2.
T1, T6 and T2. So here I write 6, 1 and 2. These 3 thyristors are conducting during the interval 2. Same way third interval from 120 to 180.
T1, T3, T2.
T1, T2 and T3. Very good. 1, 2 and 3. So here I write the sequence in which they are done. Now next interval 180 to 240.
T4, T3 and T2.
2, 3 and
4.
2, 3 and 4. Same way the next 60 degree. Fifth step
4, 3, 5.
3, 4 and 5. Clear? And last step, sixth step. Last
4,
step.
6 and 5. 4, 5, 6.
Yes. Sorry.
4, 5, 6.
4, 5,
6.
6. And then next 360 to 420. 360 to 420. Well, next cycle start. So after 360 degree in the first leg, T1 will on. Yes or no?
160.
And after this 360 degree in the second leg, T6 is remain conducting, and in the third leg, T5 is conducting. So it is 5, 6 and 1. It means whatever the thyristor is turned at the starting, first step, that same thyristor is turned after the 360 degree. Because at the 360 degree, our one cycle is complete here. Here. So after this completion of one cycle, same sequence is repeated for the next cycle also. Okay? Yes or no? All of you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now please write down this waveform and the sequence in which they are done. So one by one for each step, we calculate the phase voltage and then after line voltage. Okay. So first of all, draw this waveform and write down the sequence. Then after, I draw the phase voltage, A phase, B phase and C phase voltages by the calculation. First draw करेगा please. So you can see that in one cycle, we have 6 step interval. In each 60 degree step interval, there are different thyristors are turning on. So you can see that in the first step, 6, 5 and 1 is on. In the second step, the new thyristor number 2 is on and thyristor number 5 is off. Same way, in the next interval, new thyristor will on and the previous thyristor is off. So that is why it is called as the 6-step inverter. In 360 degree, you get the 6 step, each step of 60 degree. All of you please quickly draw this waveform. So after we start the calculation. If you have any confusion, please ask the question and solve your doubts, because this is a very important to understand the operation of this three-phase inverter. Clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So let's start the calculation. Hello, please write down this sequence. Okay, this one. So here I did write the sequence for the calculation of this phase voltage. I start here. Omega T. /60 degree, 120 degree, 180, 240, 300, and this is 360 degree. As you know that in the first interval, 6, 5, and 1 is on. Second interval 6, 1, and 2 is on. Third interval
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, and 3, 4,
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, and 4.
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, and 5, and last 4, 5, and 6. Clear? So let's see in this circuit diagram for first interval when 6, 5, 1 on. So what is the equivalent circuit? So here we take this thyristor as a switch, because when you provide the gate bus, then it is on. When we remove the gate bus, it will become off. Clear? So here first interval 0 to 60 degrees, 6, 5, and 1 is on. It means it is act like a closed switch, and the remaining thyristor are act as a off switch, because we not provide the gate bus, so it is act as a open circuit. So 6, 5, and 1 now we take as a closed switch. Yeah. So thyristor 1 act as a closed switch, then thyristor 6, this one is act as a closed switch, and thyristor 5, which is act as a closed switch. Yeah. And the remaining thyristor are act as an open circuit or open switch. Yeah. T3, T4, and T2 all are act as an open switch. Clear? So here, suppose this current flowing from the supply, DC supply is I. Clear? Now, here you can see that the positive terminal of the supply connected with the 3 legs, but in the upper layer, the thyristor 1, 3, and 5. Out of that, only thyristor 1 and this is thyristor 1 and 5 that are conducting. Clear? So it means that from the upper side, your current is divided into 2 parts, because here the thyristor 3 is in off condition. Clear? So if I draw the equivalent circuit, small equivalent circuit again for this case, so it is looked like this way. This is my DC supply. Here the resistor T1 is on, so the A phase impedance Z. Suppose I want the impedance Z, okay, or you can say the resistance R. So A phase impedance Z that is connected with the upper layer. So that is the Z impedance. Same way, the 5 thyristor is conducting, 6 thyristor is conducting. So C phase Z is also connected with this positive, like this way. And B phase thyristor T6 is conducting, the lower group thyristor, this one, and that is connected with the negative terminal of your supply. Here. So it means that you can draw this equivalent circuit like this. So this is your A phase, this is your C phase, and this is your B phase. Can you draw this circuit? Equivalent circuit for first interval where 6 squared 1 is found. This Z is because of turning on of the thyristor 1, so that current is flowing in the phase A impedance Z. Then phase C upper group thyristor 5 is conducting, so C phase current is flowing into that phase impedance Z. So this Z is here. So here total current I, this one is divided into two parts. One is in this branch and one is in this branch. Clear? And C phase and B phase, because of conduction of thyristor T6, here the current is leaving from the base B and connected to the negative terminal. You can see here, this is B phase connected with the negative terminal of the circuit. So you can draw the equivalent circuit like this. All of you understand this? Yes or no? Clear? All of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So here, suppose assume that your supply DC voltage is Vs and supply current is I. Each phase has impedance Z. So how much voltage you get between phase A and neutral point? This is a neutral point because it is a star connected load. So this O is the neutral point. So if I measure the voltage across A and neutral point, so how much voltage I get across this point? Supply voltage is Vs, supply current is I. Yes? How much voltage across between A and zero terminal or between A and neutral terminal? It also. What is the value of total current I? I is equal to what? Supply voltage Vs divided by your whole circuit impedance. So what is the equivalent impedance of this star connected load? So also for this diagram, you can see that both the Z are connected in parallel. So what is the equivalent of this Z and this Z? Z by 2.
E by 2.
Z by 2, yes or no? And this Z by 2 is connected in series with this Z. So that is what? Z by 2 plus Z. So if you calculate Z equivalent, so it is Z by 2 plus Z. It means it is 3Z divided by 2. So equivalent impedance of this circuit diagram is what? 3Z divided by 2. So total supply current I is equal to what? Supply voltage Vs divided by your whole circuit equivalent impedance Z equivalent. It means 3Z by 2. So I is equal to Vs divided by 3Z by 2. So it means that it is 2 by 3 Vs by Z. This is the value of your supply current. Total supply current I. Now give me the answer. What is the value of voltage across A and neutral terminal? It means VAO. Because this is a phase voltage. Voltage between phase and neutral. This is a phase voltage. Same way if you measure the voltage between C and O point, that is a C phase voltage. And same way if you measure the voltage between B and O point, that is the phase B voltage. Okay. So first we calculate the phase voltage for the first interval. Okay. So what is the value? Yes. So what's the value?
Vs by 3z.
Vs by
3z.
3z. VA0. What is the impedance of the phase A? Z. Yeah. What is the equivalent impedance between these two terminals? Z by 2. You can see that both this branch has the same impedance. Here. So half of the current is flowing into this branch and half of the current is flowing into this branch. Yes or no? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it means that I by 2 current is flowing into this phase A, I by 2 current is flowing into the phase C, and then both this current is combined at the neutral point, and then after total current I that is flowing into the phase B. So voltage across phase A, that is what current into that phase, which is I by 2 into impedance of that branch, which is Z. Clear? So what is I? 2 by 3 Vs by Z. Clear? So put this value here. I is 2 by 3 Vs by Z. Divide by 2. So divide by 2 into Z. Clear? So these two is cancel out, this Z is cancel out. So it is what? Vs by 3. Yes or no? It is Vs by 3. All of you?
Yes, sir.
Voltage across phase A, that is Vs by 3. Now what is the voltage across phase C?
Vs by 3.
Same value because both are connected in parallel. In parallel we know that voltage remains same. So phase C voltage is also Vs by 3. Now what is phase B voltage? VBO. Now this one voltage across B and O point.
2 Vs by 3.
2 Vs by 3. It is right?
Yes.
See, here we are moving from O point to B point because the direction of current is what? O to B. Here we measure the voltage B to O. Now give the answer. If you measure the voltage from B to O, so we can say that this is the direction of current is negative. Yes or no? Okay, let's measure the VOB. VOB, voltage across neutral and B point. Direction of current is this one, downwards. Current is I, impedance is Z. So it is I into Z. I is what? 2 by 3 Vs by Z into Z. So it is what? 2 Vs by 3. But we require the voltage VVO, not VOB. So it is how much?
Minus of 2 Vs by 3.
Minus 2 Vs by 3? Yes or no? Exactly opposite? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So it is minus 2 Vs by 3. VBO, that is minus 2 Vs by 3. So if you draw the waveform for first 60-degree interval for phase A, so that is gives the magnitude Vs by 3 continuously from 0 to 60 degree. Let's draw the waveform for phase A here. So VA0 from 0 to 60 degree gives the voltage how much? This is Vs by 3. Same way, draw the waveform for phase B. VBO. So VBO is what? Minus 2 Vs by 3. It means draw here below the reference line. Magnitude is double than this value. Here. Minus 2 Vs by 3. So this is a VBO. Same way, draw the waveform for phase C. Phase C. The same as VAO. So draw the waveform for first 60-degree interval of VCO. That is also Vs by 3. So that is a calculation of all this phase voltage VAO, VBO and VCO from 0 to 60 degree where 6, 5 and 1 is conductor. So same way for next 5 steps, calculate the value of all the 3 phases. Next step, 6, 1 and 2 is conducting. So same way, draw the equivalent circuit like this way. This thyristor reactor is a closed switch, remaining thyristor reactor is open circuit. So draw the equivalent circuit like this way and calculate the value of each phase voltage, and based on the value, draw the waveform here for each 3 phases. Same way for the third step, 1, 2, 3 is conducting. That switch acts as a closed switch. Draw the equivalent circuit by calculation, calculate the value of all the 3 phase voltage. Same way for all the 6 steps, if you calculate the value and draw the waveform, so that gives the all the phase voltage in one cycle. VAO, VBO and VCO. Clear out? Is there any doubt? So in the next lecture we calculate for the remaining steps, and then after draw this all the phase voltages, and then after drawing this all the phase voltage, we draw the line to line voltages. Clear all of you? Is there any doubt? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So please quickly draw this waveform. So now please try this for the next step. Calculate the phase voltage. First, drawing the equivalent circuit. So here I stop this lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss again for the next step interval. So today we will meet at 1 o'clock for the practical session, in which we simulate the unipolar PWM techniques. Clear? So here I stop this lecture. So you can now leave this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.